Welcome to another episode of the Bug Bite, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we're engineered to win. In today's episode, we're going to be investigating a data breach that has affected a variety of companies, but we're going to be looking at where it seems to have stemmed from. So let's just jump into it. Let's find out what's going on. If you haven't done so already, do me a big favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live and drop new content. And if you're in need of one-on-one coaching, go over to www.techcoachralph.dev where you can see the one-on-one coaching plans that I offer. But let's just jump into this article without any further ado. All right, so this article is brought to us by TechCrunch, and it's named Mandiant Says Hackers Stole a Significant Volume of Data from Snowflake. So this article is brought to us by TechCrunch. It's titled Mandiant Says Hackers Stole a Significant Volume of Data from Snowflake Customers. This was written by Zach Whitaker on June 10th, 2024. Let's jump in. So, security researchers say they believe financially motivated criminals have stolen a significant volume of data from hundreds of customers hosting their vast bank of data with cloud storage giant Snowflake. Incident response firm Mandiant, which is working with Snowflake to investigate the recent spat of data thefts, said in a blog post Monday that the two firms have notified around 165 customers that their data may have been stolen. It's the first time that the number of affected Snowflake customers has been disclosed since the account hacks began in April. Snowflake has said little to date about the attacks, only that a limited number of its customers are affected. The cloud data giant has more than 9,800 corporate customers like healthcare organizations, retail giants, and some of the world's largest tech companies, which use Snowflake for data analytics. So far, only Ticketmaster, the ticketing company we buy our Taylor Swift tickets from, LendingTree, LendingTree is a loan company, have confirmed data thefts where their stolen data was hosted on Snowflake. Several other Snowflake customers say they are currently investigating possible data theft from their Snowflake environment. Mandiant said the threat campaign is ongoing, suggesting the number of Snowflake corporate customers reporting data theft may rise. In its blog post, Mandiant attributed the account hacks to UNC 5537, an as yet unclassified cybercriminal gang that the security firm says is motivated by making money. The gang, which Mandiant says includes members in North America and at least one member in Turkey, attempts to extort its victims into paying to get their files back or to prevent public release of the customer's data. So far, what we've seen happening here is a unnamed cybersecurity or cyber criminal gang, not cybersecurity, but cyber criminal gang, has stolen a bunch of data from Snowflake. And the thing is, Snowflake, a lot of different companies store their data with Snowflake. So someone just contacted me from Snowflake recently talking about, how they can help manage the data and stuff like that. This is what's going on here. It's happened back around April. And so we know Ticketmaster was affected. I think, what's the other company? There's another company that, a bank, I think Santander? I forgot the exact name of it, but they were affected as well. We also see LendingTree is affected. So Mandiant confirms the attacks, which rely on the use of stolen credentials to access the customer's Snowflake instance and ultimately exfiltrate valuable data, date back to at least April 14th, when the researchers first identified evidence of improper access to an unnamed Snowflake customer's environment. Mandiant said it notified Snowflake to its customer account's intrusion on May 22nd. The security firm said the majority of stolen credentials used by UNC 5537 were available from historical info stealers infections, with some dating as far back as 2020. Mandiant's findings confirmed Snowflake's limited disclosure, which said there wasn't a direct breach of Snowflake's own system, but blamed its customer accounts for not using multi-factor authentication. We've spoken about this before. Just the other day, we talked about Roku enforcing multi-factor authentication. I understand that the customer didn't have multi-factor authentication on, but if the customer doesn't have multi-factor authentication on and they're able to get into the Snowflake system, and then by them getting into that, they're able to get to other customers and like, from Ticketmaster and all these and Lending Tree does like, it's hard to see Snowflake trying to pass off the blame like it wasn't a direct breach of their own system. But if they're able to get into a customer's account and then be able to get into a bunch of other accounts, there is some type of vulnerability on Snowflake's system, and why didn't Snowflake enable or force to a multi-factor authentication from before, right? So last week, TechCrunch found circulating online hundreds of Snowflake customer credentials stolen by malware that infected the computers of staffers who have access to their employer's Snowflake environment. The number of credentials available online linked to Snowflake environment suggests an ongoing risk to customers who have not yet changed their passwords or enabled multi-factor authentication. So I think I understand how this is a problem right here, but I think that there should be a lockdown. Maybe Snowflake did already, right? But you cannot access your account unless your password has been changed and multi-factor authentication has been enabled. Right, so you go to like whatever site you go to, and you try to enter your password. Says sorry, you can't do it. You got to go to the Snowflake website to enter whatever portal they go through, and then it says all right, you have to change your password, and you have to enable two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. All right. So Mandiant said it also has seen hundreds of customer Snowflake credentials exposed via info sealers. For its part, Snowflake does not require its customers to use by default or enforce the security features used. In a brief update on Friday, Snowflake has said it's developing a plan to enforce the use of multi-factor authentication on its customer accounts, but has not yet provided a timeline. So just what we were just saying just now, right? Snowflake spokesperson Danica Stanzik declined to say why the company hasn't reset customer passwords or enforced MFA. Snowflake did not immediately comment on Mandiant's blog post on Monday. So this is just what I was talking about, and it's like, I think more companies need to be way more proactive than they are being reactive to when these security breaches happen. All right. Anyways, that is our story for today. Let's go back to full screen. And it's so like these breaches are so easy to happen when you don't when you're trying to be so lenient on your customers. Yes, I understand it's annoying, but once you get the process in place and the protocol in place, I remember when I was hesitant to enable multi-factor authentication on GitHub, but once they said, hey, you have until this date to do it, and now it's just like second nature for me. So I understand a lot of people they don't have their phones on them around them all the time. They don't have maybe their battery might not be charged, whatever the case may be, right? But it's about security, and if there is a breach like this where you can get into one customer's account and then get access to a bunch of other customers, then there is a problem with the system of Snowflake, if that's the case of what really happened. And that I believe that it is imperative that they lock that down and they force multi-factor authentication so that users don't have their data being exposed all over the place. Like imagine as a Ticketmaster customer that your credit card information and whatever other data that might be exposed all across the internet is because of you're using a third-party data analytics vendor, Snowflake, which is probably the biggest one in the world, and they get hacked by one of their other clients, and now that affects you as well. And now you are in the headlines because they say that your information, your application is not secure because what a third party did. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with you, even when it's a third party who has caused this ruckus to come down upon you. All right. So that's my thoughts behind this article. Hopefully you found it helpful and informative. If you did, do me a big favor. Go ahead and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every single time that we go live. And if you're in need of exclusive content or one-on-one coaching or both, go over to www.techcoachralph.dev, see what I have to offer, and we can run it up together. But until next time, you guys have an amazing weekend. This is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.